Michael Waltz is a former Green Beret commander and a former counterterrorism advisor to Vice President Cheney. First of all, Michael, thank you for your service. And let's get right to the point. It appears this may be a ceasefire fraught with pitfalls, particularly when you consider the United States supports Syrian rebels fighting against Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad, and then you have Russia backing Syrian President Assad. The only common ground these two have is in the civil war is they both oppose ISIS, the Islamic State. So given these facts, are you confident that this ceasefire can last?
You know, Kelly, we'll see. I think the devil is truly in the details here. This could be a small baby step in the right direction, but I'm incredibly skeptical of the Russians and of cooperation with the Russians in Syria, and particularly because, you know, we have to keep in mind here that the Russians, Iran, Hezbollah, and Assad are a package deal when it comes to Syria. They've massacred hundreds of thousands of people, including gassing their own folks. And importantly, this ceasefire is only Russia, the United States, and Jordan. Iran and Hezbollah and their local militias are not included. So, you know, we'll see how this plays out, but I think you're going to see Iran and Hezbollah still pushing hard to gobble up areas as ISIS falls and to create that Shia crescent that Iran has wanted from Tehran through Iraq, through Syria to Lebanon, so that it can hit Israel from a different angle. That they've wanted that since the Persian Empire. So there's still a lot of missing pieces here, and I'm quite skeptical, but you know, we'll see.
Michael, you're going to the core of my next question because, as you know, having worked with Vice President Dick Cheney and President George W. Bush, it was the Bush administration that actually focused on Iran, calling it a nexus of an axis of terror, along with Hezbollah. And so here we are in this region, trying to broker a peace deal or a ceasefire deal with Russia that, as you've rightly said, is closely associated and affiliated with Iran, therefore Hezbollah. Now, the ceasefire was announced before all the details had been worked out. What are your concerns that Russia's Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, and Russian military police will monitor the new truce, given the relationship they have with Bashar al-Assad?
Yeah, right. So that's already one point, you know, kind of one disconnect, is that the Russians are saying their military police will be the monitoring force, and we and our allies on the ground have already said absolutely not. So the details still have to be worked out. But to your point on Iran, I could be optimistic if Russia is willing to back away from Iran. I'm skeptical again because the Russians are selling the Iranians billions worth of advanced weapon systems bought for, I might add, with the funds that we have released as part of the Iran deal. But if they are willing to back away from the Iranians in Syria and align with kind of more of a political agreement, and if they're willing to let Assad go, then I could, you know, again, I want to be optimistic here. But I got to tell you, Russia backing away from Iran is going to come with a price. The Russians never give anything away for free, and I'm wondering what that price will be. Will it be Ukraine, Crimea, the Baltics or Balkans? You know, we'll see. But you know, where does this fit in our overall Russia policy and our overall Iran policy? And I think that remains to be worked out.
I wish we had more time, Michael, because this is a very serious issue. Obviously, looking forward, we want to see that Syria gets to some semblance of a ceasefire so that the 500,000 people have been killed there, and of course the European refugee crisis stemming from what happened there in Syria. We want to see it all come to an end peacefully, but we've got to go. So thank you, Michael Waltz, and again, thank you for your service, sir.
All right, thank you, Kelly.
All right.